Media Matters is pointing out how Fox so-called news is covering the Ivanka Trump email scandal. Now, Ivanka Trump was doing government business with a private account, and we don't know the domain of that account, but it was a private account that was running on a commercial server. That we know for sure, whether it was Google's server or whether it was Yahoo's server or whether it was Microsoft's server. It was on a public. It was on the server of a corporation. It might have even been a small company that was offering private services. The whole reason why Hillary Clinton had a private server installed in her home was because when your email is on a corporate server, people inside that corporation can read your email. You know, the techies. And presumably the executives could ask the techies to read your email to them or share it with them. So it's not safe. It's not, and that's why. So her server actually was safe. It was never breached. We know that. I mean, she thought she was doing the right thing, and she thought she was going to have a secure source. But Ivanka Trump, she put it on a corporate server, which means it could have been easily hacked. You wouldn't even need to hack. You could just look at it, right? I mean, if you were in that corporation. But weirdly, the way that Fox is dealing with it is, well, she didn't have a server in her basement, so everything's fine. Isn't that weird? What it really says, and Barack Obama pointed this out maybe a month and a half ago, he said they didn't care about Hillary Clinton's emails. If they did, they'd be up in arms right now that the Chinese are listening to Donald Trump's insecure phone. He will not give up his Android phone that he tweets on and that he talks to Sean Hannity on every night. He will not give that up for a government phone that's secure. So the Chinese and the Russians, we know right now, are routinely listening in on Donald Trump's phone conversations. And they've been trying for 2 years now to get him to stop doing this, and he won't. You know, so all these chants of lock her up and all these congressional investigations and James Comey coming out and holding press conferences, it was all BS. What the Republicans know is that you pick a hill on which you're willing to die. You pick a fight, you pick a battle that is so large that it helps you win the war. And it really doesn't matter what it is. You turn it into something. This is what they did with Bill Clinton. They went through, from Watergate from Whitewater to which they called Whitewater Gate, to Travelgate, to Rose Law Firm Gate, to all the women that ended up with Monica Lewinsky Gate, whatever it was. And they just pounded on it and pounded on it and pounded on it. They didn't care. Every single Republican who was prosecuting Bill Clinton was having an affair at the time they were doing it. You know, from Newt Gingrich to Bob Barr down in Georgia to Livingston. I mean, every single one of them was having an affair at the time they were prosecuting. They didn't care. But you pick one thing. The Democrats need to figure this out. And they need to pick one or two things that have been happening, that, crimes of Trump's or of the GOP, and just hammer the bejesus out of it. But that's what they did. They did that, that's what they did with John Kerry. Oh, he's not really a war hero. That's what they did with Al Gore. Oh, he didn't really invent the internet. They pick one thing and they turn it into this giant mushroom cloud of an issue. And the Democrats would rather say, well, hey, here's 20 different policy things that would make America a much better place to live. Well, that's a nice conversation. We used to have those kind of conversations in the 1950s, but the Republican Party is not what it was.